And welcome back to City Focus. I'm Marcus Meconico, the media coordinator with the City of Valdosta. And today I am sitting with Angela Bray. She is
I am the Stormwater and Arbor Manager for the City of Valdosta.
And if people don't know, we just came through a crazy hurricane.
Huge hurricane, yes.
That's probably been the worst storm in the history of this city. And that has kept your department, your area very, very busy.
Very busy.
Tell us, I guess, what you guys did before the hurricane came through.
Okay, so our department, I manage Stormwater and Arbor Division. So in the Arbor Division, we inspect, we trim trees, we make sure that all of our right-of-way and public trees are healthy. And then in Stormwater, every single day we are out in the field inspecting all of our storm pipes, our catch basins, removing blockages, clearing clogs. We bust beaver dams within the city. Amazingly, we have a ton. So immediately before the storm comes in, we prepare super hard. You know, we do that on every single day.
Yeah.
However, you know, we bust all the beaver dams, go to all of our hot spots, try to clear out all the grates and the local communities, especially focus on those hot spots that normally, you know, may have potential to flood. We'll go through and check all of our drainage canals to make sure that the water can flow through properly. However, in this case, you know, with the hurricane, we were unfortunate in some areas.
Now, I spent most of my time during the hurricane at the EOC, which you were there also.
Correct.
But before I went to the EOC, and it was probably 5:45 that morning, I saw your guys at the Stormwater office getting ready to go out.
Right.
You have a limited crew, but I guess during the storm, what did you do? And then immediately after, what did those guys go, what were their responsibilities?
Okay, so I have, including Stormwater and Arbor, 16 guys for the entire city. And we have a lot of infrastructure, we have a lot of trees. So what we do is the day before, we make sure all of our equipment, our chainsaws, our chains, our bars, our backhoes, all of our trucks are gassed up and ready to go, and we're prepared right when we come in. So it was mandatory for everybody to come in at 6. My guys were there at 5. Basically waiting on the storm to come in. Everything was already checked and done, you know, previously in the prior days before the storm. And so during the storm, I'm sitting at the EOC. So my job is to basically sit next to 911 and all of the calls coming through that, you know, residents are making and citizens, trees down, lines down, flooding, blocking, water being blocked up in the road. They all come through 911. Hopefully, most of the time it should be through the non-emergency 911 call, which I think a lot of citizens were confused on, and that, you know, that's something that we're going to try to do better next time, as far as getting that non-emergency dispatch number out to the citizens instead of calling directly 911. However, when all those calls come in, I input everything down into an Excel spreadsheet so we can have documentation, and then I dispatch all the guys. So I'm dispatching not only Stormwater and Arbor, but I dispatch traffic because we need barricades. You know, when trees are down, signals were on the ground. So that is my job at the EOC, is basically to dispatch all the crews. Sometimes obviously Public Works too, but they're more used after the storm. But I dispatch as soon as a call comes in. I call the supervisor or the crew leaders and then get them out there to, you know, see and fix the problem.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize we're telling everybody to stay in, but fire and police are still running calls. And if a tree goes down, your guys are trying to clear that road for emergency to get to these calls.
Yes. Yeah, so we are like clearing the roads and making sure. We had a lot of priority calls come in where paramedics, you know, needed to get people to the hospital. So we have priority routes, our state routes, anywhere around the hospital, all those roads have to be cleared out first. So we focus on those areas and all the fire departments so that we can make sure that emergency responders can get out to the citizens if needed. We even had to rescue people, you know, from, you know, an apartment flooding. So Basically, I'm dispatching, and we worked the storm 14 hours that day. Trying to get caught up. We did cut it off at nighttime because just for safety purposes, running chainsaws and equipment and things.
Yeah, after
and really after doing the assessment and the drive-through, I mean, we couldn't get through maybe only 10% of the city because every tree had a power line in it. And that's what a lot of people don't know, is that the city can't go anywhere near a down tree with a power line in it.
That's at that point, it becomes a Georgia Power issue until they can come and make sure that line doesn't have power.
Which what I learned also, which I didn't know until now, or after the storm, is that Georgia Power comes in, and you see like 300 plus like lineman trucks at the old high school ready to go. However, Georgia Power has to do a 100% assessment of all trees before they can go in and actually start cutting. So we didn't really start moving trees out of power lines until midday Thursday, which was the day after the storm. But what my guys could do was move anything and any trees that didn't have lines in them, which, to be honest with you, 90% of the trees were in power lines.
And my street alone, the little street I live on, had 4 trees on it.
Right.
And every last one of them were in a power line. Now, afterwards, your guys, I've seen them out there working. I've seen them working right at catty corner to us at Drexel Park. I've seen them working in creeks, on backhoes, chainsaws. Just talk about the hard-working guys in Arbor and Stormwater and what they've done the last 2 weeks.
They are machines. They are driven, and they are amazing group of guys to work with. They never cease to amaze me, but working with them through the storm, I have seen so much more out of them and what they can do for the city. We have actually moved way faster than what I thought we would. Because of we did have a lot of contractors come in and a lot of volunteers, but our guys after the storm, our main focus is to clear all the major drainage canals. So you have like 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, Sugar Creek. So, and we also want to make sure that we check all the culverts and the bridges to make sure that they are intact and not compromised. So we have to inspect as well as we're clearing and cleaning. So we've rented excavators, and every piece of machinery that we have has been on the road every day since the storm, removing all these trees, because trees in these large drainage canals, they weren't there before. You might have 1 or 2 fallen. However, just the stretch on 1 mile branch, I would say was probably 2 football field lengths, was over 75 trees in just that short span, which caused flooding.
That's crazy.
To a subdivision. So we have to prepare, we've moved past the storm, and we've got to prepare for the next rain event. So going out there, I felt like, wow. I mean, for days I was like, where do we start? Where do we begin? For so long, and it took a toll on myself, because I felt like we had to start all over. Because we had such a great system, and everything was clean and cleared, and then now every single thing is starting from scratch, and it's going to take us a while to get there. We've done a lot in 2.5 weeks. However, we've still got months ahead of us. Our goal is to go through every single valve drainage canal that we have, not only the major canals, but the residential ditches, and try and clear those as well.
Do you have any numbers on the things you've cleared so far?
We've done a lot of work. So I know roughly, just looking like through, I've dispatched them out to just Stormwater and Arbor alone, 183 calls. Probably way more than that, because they get direct calls themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've pretty much cleared, I would say, probably 50% of the major drainage canals. 1 mile, 2 mile. We've been working on Sugar Creek. Some may have seen us, on Bay Tree. We had to close Bay Tree to inspect that bridge and to remove the log jam that was basically had built a dam under the
on
pilings.
River Street this week.
River Street did fail. The road collapsed. The shoulder did, so it kind of undermined a section of the road. So we went in and we worked on that and opened that road up on Tuesday. So not only, are we in the rivers, creeks, drainage, area,
It's all
we
infrastructure.
build roads and sidewalks,
Yeah.
and my guys do it all. We have the equipment, and like I said, I have a great group of guys that are very versatile, and they're a lot of heavy equipment operators, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're utilized in every aspect that, we can hurry up and get the city back to normal.
Yeah. And I know you can't call out all the names, but what do you want to say to those guys? I know you've thanked them personally,
Yeah.
but here's a chance where you do it on camera that everybody would see. But
Right.
what do you say to those guys? Because, I have a newfound respect for not only your guys, but all the engineering guys, all the utilities guys, public works guys. They've been busting their butts for 2 weeks, and it's going to continue for a while.
Yes, it will. We have weeks and months ahead of us to get us back to where we were. But I really, to be honest with Marcus, I have no words, because I even get emotional sometimes thinking about how amazing that these guys are. And, not only do we have to work through the storms, but they put their families, they left their families and they sacrificed their time away for the city. Yeah. And that is, just amazing and remarkable for them to care so much to come in and do the work that they do, and they enjoy it. My guys, they will say they live for Stormwater and Arbor, and they have a passion for it. So yes, I not only thank my guys for all the hard work and continued efforts that they're doing, but also utilities and public works, and especially the fire and police, because they're right there beside us.
Absolutely.
But yes, we are definitely working hard and trying to get the city back to normal. And it's right now, we just ask that citizens be patient.
Patience is the key.
It is very much so the key. Everybody was super compassionate the first week, and now it's okay, hurry up, what are you guys doing? But there are so many calls and so much more to get done. It's hard to, meet everybody's needs. Of course, I reach out to everybody that's called in. Yeah. And at least, and most everybody is, okay, we totally understand. Yeah. But we do have to prioritize, our work orders that we do. And obviously anything like Madison Highway, we had an issue over there where we had to go in and clip the shoulder because the road was failing as well, which we did yesterday. So we do have to prioritize bridges, roads, canals, because essentially in stormwater, our job is to make sure to prevent flooding.
Yeah,
not only from the city right away and roads, but private property owners. We absolutely want everything to work as it should, so your homes don't get flooded. Yeah. And to be honest, unfortunately it happened. However, also when we had over 8 inches in a short amount of time during the storm. And when that happens, our system just can't handle it.
Too much water going in.
When you see that flash flood warning, be prepared, because it's coming and it's going to happen. And that flash flood warning is because, the rivers and creeks are only so big, and the canals, and they're gonna spill over, and they're going to go onto private property. And the major roads, I know we've had several complaints about Ashley Street flooding, and however, what people don't understand is that those are not our roads. Those are GDOT state highways. So trust me, my pet peeve too is Ashley Street and Gornto. However, I can't do anything about it because that's not my infrastructure to touch. Yeah. We are aware that it floods there. We've received several calls, even in just a summer rainstorm event, it floods, not necessarily just when a hurricane comes through, but it'll flood on a regular Tuesday afternoon storm. But we do get a lot of those calls. However, I do forward those to the state, so we can keep pounding them.
Well, Angela, I want to thank you and thank all your guys for the work that they've done last 2 weeks. It's I've seen them out there. It's incredible what they're doing, the extra time and hours they're putting away working for the citizens of this city and the visitors that come here too. And guys like that I'm proud to call them coworkers.
Right.
But I appreciate you coming on. I know
Thank
you're really
you.
busy and taking the time to come here. But
no, I appreciate it. I appreciate you asking me to come here and to give me an opportunity to, tell everybody and my team thank them, and they're a great team to have and to work for, and I'm definitely proud to manage every single one of them.
Thank you for thank you for coming on again, and we'll be back here on City Focus.